What's going on with Justin Trudeau and why is he expected to resign? I just saw on Twitter and now multiple major news sources that he is likely to resign this week, but I have not been keeping up with the news lately, so I guess I'm missing something? This seems like a very out of nowhere surprise to me. I don't know a lot about him or if he has any ongoing scandals. Answer: Trudeau has been in office for nearly a decade. When he was first elected, he embodied a positive and sunny approach to politics, and it was largely a movement of young people who helped elect him, with the promise of electoral reform. He quickly abandoned that pledge, which I think was the first domino to fall. Over the years, Trudeau and his party has faced a number of domestic scandals: SNC Lavalin, surfaced black face photos, foreign interference, etc., that gradually chipped away at the sunny image he projected. Before taking office, he was harshly critical of the temporary foreign worker program under Harper, the previous prime minister, yet he dramatically expanded the program and relaxed the rules for businesses to abuse foreign, low-paid labor. The combination of temporary foreign workers, foreign students, who were also being used for cheap labor post-pandemic, and increased permanent resident targets put significant strain on our housing market, which hurt many of the young people who helped get him elected. Many have seen very jarring and sudden demographic shifts in their own communities, which has contributed to a sense of frustration. Trudeau ran a number of times on housing, but in the height of the housing crisis he said housing wasn't a primary responsibility of his, which upset a lot of people and helped Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservatives, take the inside track on housing, right or wrong. Many of the Liberals' programs on housing until recently merely stoked more demand, and he has openly said that it's important housing prices don't decline as it could hurt the retirement dreams of seniors. This landed very poorly with young people. For some perspective on numbers, a few months ago it was shared that our population grew by roughly 1 million people in 9 months, between temporary, permanent, and asylum streams. Canada historically has built somewhere between 225 to 250k homes per year. As you can appreciate, that is a significant delta. His government recently had to acknowledge that they exceeded their projected deficit by $20 billion, from $40 billion to $60 billion. His finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, chose to resign rather than own the fiscal mess. She accused him of focusing on gimmicks, such as a $250 check to all Canadians, rather than keeping their powder dry for a potential trade war with the Trump administration. This was really the last straw. After Freeland's resignation, an increasing number of his own MPs began demanding his resignation. Trudeau also has had a habit of speaking a bit sanctimoniously to Canadians, only apologizing for the misdeeds of historical figures and never his own. The combination of the factors above have steadily chipped away at his popularity over time. Much of his rhetoric focused on diversity and what makes us different, whereas I think many Canadians were looking for a more uniting, less alienating message. Economically, we have also faced stagnant productivity, declining standards of living, declining GDP per capita, increased costs of living, and some cultural issues taking footholds here. This is a simplified version of what has happened over the past 10 years or so, but Canadians are livid about our immigration system, fiscal mismanagement, housing crisis, and general fatigue. Under Trudeau, the national consensus on immigration has frayed, which has historically been broadly supported, and there is a real current of visceral anger over it. I think there are some bad faith people who misrepresent Trudeau. I actually voted for him in 2015, but it's a fact that he is profoundly unpopular in Canada for the reasons above. He's a skilled politician, and it's frankly amazing he has lasted this long, but at this point his legacy is in serious question.